This is Robert Harper with Farm Bureau's Grain Division, bringing you the Merchandiser Minute for Friday, January the 18th, 2019, with a lot of things to pay attention to this week. Once again, the trade was dominated by news around tariffs, and we saw a lot of action around two words: who knows? We don't really know what's going to happen with our country and with China as these talks progress, but we do know they're meeting again on January 30th and January 31st to continue the discussions face to face. We saw a nice rally in futures yesterday and today where the buyers were buying futures contracts on rumors of new sales. There was rumored in the trade that South Korea had bought a substantial amount of corn and that 3 North African countries had bought a substantial amount of wheat. Remember, we're on day 28, the longest federal government partial shutdown, and we're not getting a lot of numbers out of the USDA, so we don't see the daily export sales reports anymore, and therefore the traders are kind of working in the dark. Corn demand is super good right now. I want to give you an example. The last numbers we have from the USDA before the partial government shutdown took place is that we had moved 19 million metric tons so far this marketing year of corn. A year ago on this date, we've only had moved 12 million metric tons. So we've shipping a lot more corn, and that's helped elevating your corn price, and should really pay attention to that as you're considering making some sales right now. If you look at the corn board, a year ago today, whichever futures contract you're looking at, we're 30 cents a bushel higher, and I think we're higher because of the type of demand we have for corn. Again, the picture on beans is just the opposite, where demand is weaker. One interesting number this week was from Argentina. Their government says that 98% of their first crop is now planted. And remember, it's about a 3,000-mile stretch from northern Brazil to southern Argentina, that huge growing region down there. We've been wet in Argentina, and that's discounting prices there. And we've been very dry in Brazil, and that's helping with prices here also. We got our NOPA crush numbers this week, the National Oilseed Processors Association. They broke a record in December. They crushed 171 billion bushels of soybeans. That's great news. Keep your eye on the Brexit deal next week. It's a lot of issues in the trade around Brexit. If they leave the European Union, and when and how will that affect trade? And also, if we focus on China for a minute, again, we got another fact of how these tariffs are hurting their economy. We saw in December that imports dropped 7% and exports also dropped by 4%. So next week we'll be watching news on trade and tariffs. We'll be hoping for the government shutdown to get wrapped up, and we'll be watching South American weather. Let us help you as you're thinking about pricing any of your bushels. This is Robert at Farm Bureau's Grain Division.